Hey there, I'm Scott. Welcome back to my home and kitchen. Well, you guys have asked for it and today I'm going to do it. And that is my recipe for the easiest homemade pizza dough that you can do. It doesn't require any special equipment. It really doesn't require any kneading. And it makes the most delicious pizza dough. I'll show you a version, sort of an adult pizza, but also talk to you guys about how to do one for the kids as well. Let's head over and get started. Alright, let's get started on this really easy and most delicious homemade pizza dough. And it really couldn't be any easier. In this bowl, I have 2 cups of flour. And for pizza dough, I do use the double O flour, which is available in specialty grocery stores or usually in an Italian style grocery store. As for the double O flour, if you don't have that or don't really care about it, all-purpose flour should work just fine. So to this bowl, I'm going to add 1 teaspoon of fine sea salt. I have half a teaspoon of active dry yeast and 1 teaspoon of sugar. That sugar is going to help or feed the yeast to make it actually do what it needs to do. I'm going to stir everything together. Get the sugar, the salt, and the yeast distributed throughout our flour. And then into this, I'm going to add 1 cup of water, room temperature water. Alright, so just stir this around. Get it all nice. Alright, we got that first cup of water incorporated. Now I add an additional 1/2 cup of water. Alright. The last bit of water is completely incorporated, and this is going to look really wet, and that's okay. What we're going to do now is take an additional 1/4 cup of flour and incorporate this into our mixture. Alright, so that additional 1/4 cup of flour goes right in. And just building it in stages like this helps to get our consistency, and it helps us to avoid not having to knead it. Alright, so this is absolutely what you want that dough to look like. It's going to look really wet, but we're going to let this rise for about 3 hours, or exactly 3 hours. So cover it with a kitchen towel and let it sit in a nice draft-free place in your kitchen for 3 hours. We'll come back and we'll finish up the process then. Alright, it's been just under 3 hours. The dough has been covered the entire time and it still looks quite moist, and that's okay. Just don't want you to be concerned. So here I have about 1/2 cup, 3/4 of a cup of our flour. And it's really not about a volume, it's just make sure you have enough out on your board, because we're going to need this just a little bit. So I take sort of my wet, doughy mass and drop that right onto our pile of flour. Alright, and with our hands we're just going to kind of turn this over, get all those wet sides nicely coated with the flour. It'll be sticky. Just wash your hands when you get done. And that, it feels really soft, and that's the important thing. You don't want the dough too stiff. Alright, so just a few times, take the dough and kind of fold it over onto itself. Each time I'm just putting a little bit of flour up on top and then curling it over. So not really kneading it. We don't want to overdevelop the gluten in this. Just getting all the stickiness out. Alright, once you get it to this stage, just make a ball out of it. Just like that. Like right in the center of your flour, take some of the extra flour up over the top. And then cover this with that same towel and let it sit here for an hour. We'll come back in an hour and we'll be ready to bake. In the meantime, what I'm going to do is put a pizza stone in my oven and heat it as high as the oven will go. This oven goes to about 525. So crank that up and let that pizza stone get really hot, about an hour. It's been just an hour. The dough's been under our towel. And this recipe makes enough for 2 12-inch pizzas or 3 smaller, probably 8-inch pizzas, which we're going to do today. So I'm just going to take my bench scraper here and divide this dough into 3 portions. When you cut it, it's going to be a little sticky, so just sort of rub it in that flour. And set those to the side, the 2 that you're not going to use right off the bat. Once you get your dough divided, go around and make it just into a circle so that it slopes down on the sides. Just like that. So once you get a nice mound, working on enough flour, you're going to pick it up. And then just start to let gravity do its work. We're going to try to get this into a basic circle. If you need to use a rolling pin or a little bit more flour, that's fine. But do it the best way that you see fit. If it's a rolling pin's the easiest way for you, put it on a board, well-floured board, roll it out, or just let it just kind of naturally stretch. Then with your knuckles, you just begin to form the circle of the pizza. So we got our pizza nice and formed. Put enough flour on a pizza peel so that it's going to slide off when you actually get the pizza made. Just like that. Give it a little bit of a shake just to make sure that it is loose and not too wet to stick to the peel. Alright, for this particular pizza we're going to do sort of an unusual combination. What I want to do is put down some sliced, this is 1 large clove of sliced garlic. I'm going to go right on. Spread everything out so every bite has a little bit of that. Just a tad bit of olive oil, so just in a kind of a fine stream, just kind of go around the pizza. Put that on there. Then we have some wild arugula. It's beautiful, it's been washed and dried. Pile that up right in the middle. It'll wilt during the cooking process, so if it looks kind of high, it's okay. It'll wilt down for sure. Alright? Alright, on top of that we're going to put some cooked bacon that I've just kind of roughly crumbled up. More is better. Alright, blue cheese. If you guys are fans of blue cheese, which I am, and it's such a good combination with arugula and the bacon there, it's going to be delicious. Put that all over. And then a sliced pear. Just kind of work these little pear slices around on top. This is going to go into our hot oven. It's at 525 degrees. That pizza stone's been preheating for at least an hour, probably an hour and a half by now. Alright. And then just a little bit more olive oil right over the top to help that caramelization process happen. Alright, in the oven this is going to go 10 minutes. Set a timer. Watch to make sure the edges don't get too brown and we'll pull it out. And there it is. About 9 minutes in the oven is actually what it took. I was just watching for the crust to get nice and kind of caramelized. Everything kind of wilted down and it smells delicious. I'm going to give it a few minutes to cool off and we'll slice it and give it a taste. Alright, the pizza cooled down just a little bit. Just going to get in there with my pizza cutter. Cut this thing up. And give it a nice taste. If you're making this for kids, they might not love the blue cheese, all that business. Just top the dough like you would normally with the red sauce, some great mozzarella cheese, pepperoni, sausage, mushrooms, whatever your kids like. I'm going to drizzle this off just to kind of put it to the next level with a really great aged balsamic. And get this on a plate and we'll give it a taste. Alright, let's give this guy a taste. This looks and smells so good. You guys, you gotta make it. The cheese and the bacon and the pears all come together and it's delicious. Alright, if you have a comment on this video or want me to do a recipe for you or want to comment on another video, email me. The email address is scottinOregon@comcast.net. Alright guys, take care. See you soon. Bye.